Welcome aboard Frequent Flyers. I'm Brandon, I'm a guy who flies, and this will be my February bullet journal setup. I'm going to set the vibes by lighting a candle. I have a cup of tea. I invite you to do the same. Get your planner out so you can plan with me. I'm going to tap into a lo-fi playlist on Spotify. Here's a flashback of how my January spreads grew throughout the month. Here are my weekly spreads, including my month-long habit tracker across the top. I would say it was a good month. Here is the current week that we are on. I really wanted my February theme to reflect the transition and change I have going on in my own personal life. And so I'm doing this large print font, and for the graphic, I'm doing this dense forest. I don't know, it's something about the fact that we know what's in the forest. However, every time you enter a forest, it's sort of unknown, which is really reflective of me going back to work after being out for so long. This is the longest I've ever been, quote unquote, out of a job and not working in my life. And so it feels kind of weird, but I did this dense forest theme that I'm actually going to introduce some color into using my tri-point fine liners. But I mostly made it out of my various shades of gray Tombow Dual brush pens. As I was erasing my pencil sketches, I felt like the page needed something else, so I went in with the pencil and did some gray shading on the bottom half, which I eventually went back and added to the entire page. I'm adding a quote page this month, and the author of the quote that I found is unknown, but it says, "Until you step into the unknown, you don't know what you're made of." Next up is my 2-page monthly calendar spread. As I mentioned in my yearly setup, I love a big calendar, so I think I'm going to continue the theme of making a 2-page calendar spread. I really can't wait until the point where I trust myself to freehand draw these lines, because this part did take a lot. However, it was nice to just kind of listen to some music, chill out, and do something that didn't take a lot of mental. They say you don't know what you can do until you try it, so I'm trusting myself to be less of a perfectionist, and I'm journeying to be a little bit more creative in my bullet journal, just to add a little bit more pizzazz to each of my spreads, because truthfully, in my mind, I feel like I can't draw, but I think there is a little bit of talent there, if I may hype myself up. And then of course, I'm just adding more stickers. If you all have any recommendations for places that have like planner stickers, let your boy know, because I'm always here for a sticker and a washi tape. Now I'm just kind of going in and actually doing some actual planning for February based on things that happen every single month. You see me referencing my January calendar. And then eventually I'm going to go back and look at my future log in the beginning of my bullet journal to see what things for February I might have jotted it in there during the month of January. Lots to do. I also use this spread to plan out my YouTube content. So prior to me being on leave when I was flying full-time, I tried to get out videos every Sunday and Thursday. So I use a YouTube play button as the symbol, as a reminder for myself that these are the days I'm putting out content. And then I just go in throughout the month and pencil in which particular vlogs I'm releasing on those days. And the last thing that I really need to add to this is going to be my actual flying schedule. I did not add that in as I was jotting in these other things, but I finished off the page with some washi tape. The next two spreads are going to be for my monthly bid and for my notes. So on the left side, I'm making another calendar, which ended up being too large. But it's another calendar for me to get ready to work on my bid for the month of March. You all know flight attendants bid each month for the next month. So in February, we will be bidding for March. And then I created some space on the right side just to take notes from any meetings, conference calls, or things that I might participate in over the course of the month. Sorry about that. I love the ease of my spreads for January and the fact that I didn't have to redraw my habit tracker or my monthly calendar every month. So I decided to repeat that type of layout this month. Instead of having it at the top, this time I have it on the left shoulder of the spread. So I'm cutting the pages for each of the weekly spreads so that as I flip, I'll still be able to see the habit tracker vertically and my monthly calendar, which also gives me room on the right side, right shoulder, to be able to do something else later on. So since I'll be going back to flying this month, I'm going to bring back my meal planning and meal prepping. So here I'm creating spaces for me to write out the ideas for my meal planning for next month. Breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner, depending on the type of trips I'm flying. I have space for my 3 top priorities for that week, as well as my running weekly task list, which can be on the bottom of that page. Since I'm going back to work, how I do work and manage YouTube and tutoring and other things will look a lot differently. So I know I won't need as much space in terms of my weekly to-do list. So I'm giving myself less space for February. I'll see how that works out. But basically I have space for all 7 days of the week. So depending on what days I'm actually off and want to do work, I can have some assigned space to assign tasks. So low-key, I didn't know what I wanted to use this right margin space for, but I decided to just give myself a little challenge throughout the month. So I'm going to make a running list of words that I love to use. I've pulled over that, February is Valentine's Day, it's the month of love, quote unquote. So I'll be jotting down every day a different word that I love to use. Some I believe will be popular or common words, and others might be less common. And here's the final flip through. And that's all for February's plan with me. Again, I'm Brandon, I'm a guy who flies, and I will see you all the next time.